Well, good morning and welcome to the Team Builder Experience, guys. I am so proud of each and every one of you. You know, you've made a major milestone. And I don't know if you know, statistically speaking, that the number of people who actually make it to Team Builder happens to not be as high as you may think it is. And for those of you that are regional builders, you've made it into the upper 1 percentile of those who will succeed in Surge 365. So congratulations. I'm so excited to put this training together. Hard, it's with mixed emotions because, I'm excited to share with you some amazing information. But by the same token, I am in St. Louis by the time you actually see this presentation. But I want to just shout out to each and every one of you, brand new team builders, brand new regional builders. Congratulations on an amazing job. And I just want to reach out to you. From before I leave and head out to St. Louis, just to let you know, how amazing. This is going to be kind of a laser focused training call today. This is very special. It's for emerging leaders. It is for those poised for the next promotion. I want you to have pen and paper. I'm excited to share some powerful information and welcome you again to your Team Builder Experience. We are going to cover some amazing information for you today. So First Lady Celetta Brown, thank you so very much for allowing me the opportunity to present from this platform. And I'm actually going to do two presentations for you on today. This is going to be one, and I'm going to kind of end it so it doesn't run all the way through, right, for 2 hours. And then First Lady, I'm going to send you some, you're going to actually, guys, have two trainings on this afternoon, or this morning. But today, what I want to talk about is becoming a conversation specialist. Now, I got to tell you, coming into the industry, I was so nervous to talk to people. I did everything wrong and learned the hard way. And I had to, really tie into my mentors to teach me how to say, what to say, when to say, what not to say, when to say, not to say too much, not to talk myself into sale and then out of my sale. But we're going to talk today about being a conversation specialist, because as leaders, now you're starting to grow and help other people. See, family, when I first got started in the industry, it was easier for me to lead with the product. When I first got started, I used to say things like, how do you travel, or what's your best way of traveling, or do you pay wholesale or retail? That's a conversation starter. And family, we can talk about the benefits and perks and walk through people through the membership and then talk to them, about why they want to get 3 and free. But family, when you are first getting started, right? Today we talk about, that 3 and free stuff, but at first it's really about talking about the membership because it's easier when you first get started. But now, when we listen to mentors, when we listen and we learn to read more books, so that we become better, right? Now we learn to lead with the product, or we can lead with the business, the income. If you lead with the product, you're going to get a customer, a member. And if you lead with the income opportunity, what you're going to get is somebody who wants to build. And we're looking to help you build. We find somebody that wants to be 3 and free, wants $1,000 bonus. That wants, the ability to create that residual income. Now, family, we've got Mobile Coach. And out of all of the feedback, according to Scott Stomer, that we're getting on Mobile Coach, the number one thing that everybody seems to be saying that's joining, they're saying they want to earn $1,150. They want to make money. So we're going to talk about how to lead with the income opportunity, so that they can see that there's trouble along the way. But family, we'll find builder. But let me ask you a question. So think about this as you're listening. Would you rather sell cars, or would you rather sell car dealerships? Think about that. If you could earn income from selling cars, or you could earn income from selling car dealerships, which would you rather do? Now, most people realize you'll make some here, some there, over here being a salesperson. But when you're selling an entire dealership, a franchise, now you've got hundreds of people selling hundreds of cars, and that creates leverage. In this area, there's a company called Priority that has bought up almost every dealership. That's leverage. We're talking about building an income you can walk away from. Family, we're talking about an income that's going to take care of you and your children and your children's children. Most people nowadays want an extra paycheck. They want to know how they can have an extra stream of income. So learning from Robert Kiyosaki, he says the definition of being rich is when your passive income is greater than your living expenses. Now, passive income is the income you're going to receive in addition to working your job. So when I share with people how they can develop a passive stream of income that can take care and cover all of their bills, right? Should they so choose. But when I share that with them and they see that and they begin to think, okay, when do I have time to go do that? I'm already working a full-time job. I'm already a mom. I'm a dad. I'm a coach. I'm involved in church. But see, that's why you got to tap into a proven set of leaders. You as leaders want to make sure you keep a systematic way for you and your team where you're earning even when you're not working. See, leaders, that's what creates real leverage, right? It's working less, but earning more. That's the end game. That's the end game. So now we're going to talk about, when you meet someone, but what I'm saying is, I want you to understand that when you have this type of mindset, understanding that the most people don't realize about the cash flow quadrant. What people don't realize is what the wealthy knows. You now know, but I want you to internalize it. You truly will understand, especially reading this book, The Cash Flow Quadrant. You'll understand why some people make more money in a single month than it takes other people to make in an entire year. We've got that on iconlegends.com. How not to just get paid off 40 hours a week, but how to get paid off 2,000 hours per week. That's where you're headed. See, there's not even 2,000 hours in a week unless you've got leverage. And family, when you've got a group of people who find other people, you create leverage. As each of those are working 10 hours, 10 times 10 times 10, I mean, there's hundreds of hours, and you will begin to earn more per month than it took you an entire year because you're earning off the efforts of other people. These people are building their income, they're building their income, they're building theirs. You as a leader will begin to override that. But I want to talk first a little bit about how I lead a conversation. See, what I want you to understand and what I've created is what I call a comfort phrase. And the reason I call it a comfort phrase, right? I don't know if you've ever heard of Mickey Rawls, but she taught me to develop 5 or 6 comfort phrases. Those are phrases that you get comfortable asking people. They're questions. And the quality of the question is so strong that it leads people thinking down the right path, which is where we wanted to go. So I found a few comfort phrases that really work for me. But the comfort phrases that I use may be different from, something that you may be using. But what I'm comfortable with may be different from what you're comfortable with. But we're going to kind of cover the comfort phrases, okay? The one I like using the most is if I'm chatting with somebody, having real general conversation, maybe 30, 40, 50 seconds, and I'll ask somebody, let me ask you a question, and just tell me how you feel. If you had an extra $500 a week, would it mean something to you? That's the phrase. That's the phrase. And if you got the tone right, if you had an extra $500 a week, just tell me how you feel. Would it mean something to you? And when they say, sure it will, of course. So listen, maybe I can be a blessing to you. I found a way to create that. And I'd like to show you what some people are doing and how it works. And if I show it to you, you can just tell me whether you like it or not. Now, is that fair enough? And now I can have the sit down. Now I can have the one-on-one, right? Now I can have them listen to a call, or maybe I can introduce them to somebody, or maybe I can get them on a webinar. But the conversation is set up where they told me it would mean something to them. Not would they like it, but if they had an extra $500 a week, would it mean something? And then I say, let me show you how it would happen. I want you to look at it and tell me whether you like it or not. Don't tell me whether you want to join. We'll see if you would like it or not. See, now they're open. let me take a look at this. And then when I show them the membership, the business overview, now the product, the membership is in the proper context, but it's in the context, in my opinion, of creating the extra stream of income that can give you that extra passive stream of approximately $500 a week. See, it's easy for people to make that connection. We're going to show them how to do that. That works for me. Now, another one that I've heard people say is, do you keep your income options open? Now, I've heard people say that. I've got somebody else, like Dr. Coakley, he says, do you know anyone who could use an extra $1,000 to $2,000 a month? They don't ask if they could, but ask if they know anybody who could use an extra $1,000 to $2,000 a month. And if they say, yeah, normally they're really talking about themselves, but you're not asking them direct. You're asking if they know anybody. And then what Dr. Christopher Coakley says, well, listen, here's my number. Let me get yours. I'll be in touch with you within 48 hours to explain to you how it works. Family, there's a book called Your First Year in Network Marketing, where a guy named Mark Yarnell, superstar pioneer in our industry, he had a comfort phrase that was absolutely amazing. His comfort phrase was, if you knew for a fact that you could retire in 2 years, making $200,000 a month, would this be something you'd like to know about? Now, not do, just know about. He says, anybody that says no to that, don't even waste your time, right? Listen, this is not an arm twister. We're sifting, we're sorting. We're not trying to make anybody do anything. We're looking for people who want to create that income. The more that look, the more that like it. The more that like it, the more that join. The more that join, the more you help. The more you help, the more you make. But you gotta get people looking at your business. Think about it right now. How many people have been looking at your business today? How many did you show it to? How many of you have gone to, iconlegends.com and asked them to go through steps 1, 2, and 3? See, our job is to get people just to look. But I promise you this, the folks that look are either going to say yes, no, or maybe. And you've got to be okay with the yes. That's easy. But you also have to be okay with the no. That's just part of the business. And you got to be okay with the maybe. And the maybe simply means they haven't had enough information to make a decision. So our job is to get people looking just to see if they like it. The look, that's the part that's important. So I want you, each of you, team builders, to take the 100 look challenge. What that means is I want each of you to get 100 people to take a look at a webinar, to take a look at, iconlegends.com, step 1, 2, and 3, to come to a travel party. See, this is going to help you to discipline your disappointments, because you're going to think of some of these 100 people that they would definitely be the one, and they're not the one. It's not for them. So as you go through this 100 look challenge in the next 60 days, your job is to just keep it moving, right? So I sat down with someone that joined our team like a year ago. And they've seen now the success we've had. They went thinking that they could get 2 part-time jobs to do what we do. But now they've circled back. And now we've got some super quality people that we're talking to. But see, when it comes to getting people looking, you've got 3 markets to choose from. See, here's the thing. In the 3 markets that you're going to be choosing from, right? Number 1, you've got your warm market. These are the people that you knew when you woke up this morning. These are the people that you knew when you put your feet on the floor. You go to church with them. You grew up with them. You work maybe at the same job with them, going to school with them. They're your best friend's cousin. I mean, these are just people in your warm market. You want to start building a master list of people that you know. You don't have to contact everybody right away, but you want to build a master list. I want you to literally sit down, right? And I want you to write down the easiest 10 for you to say something to, right? The easiest for you to say something to, right? Then I want you to think about, if they did join, These people will be the best. So I want you to then write down your 10 best. People who have a large sphere of influence, people that love life, love to travel, they're leaders in their market, they're well connected. Write down those 10 people that if they joined you, they would be the superstars. They would be the best, right? They've got experience in business, organizations, community, leadership. So you want to begin with your 10 easiest, add on your 10 best. Look in your cell phone. Start from A and go all the way to Z. Once you get up to about 50, right? You should be around maybe the G's and H's. Every day you want to go back and add 10 new people to that list and make sure that you're contacting people and finding out if they're open to earning additional income from home. If they had an extra $500 a week, would it mean something to them? Do they know anybody who wants to make some serious income, lucrative income in a short period of time, $50,000 in the next 90 days? Do they know anybody who might want that? Do they know anybody? So you're not asking direct, but when you do, people become curious. Now, once they become curious, that's the time you want to point them to the information. See, if you just start, right, talking, trying to tell them how it works, they think they got to learn everything that you did. But if you can just point them, right, to where they can go, the website, the webinar, Facebook Live, a pre-recorded recording presentation, we've got a system. So your warm market, you're going to be cultivating a warm market master list. That's the first category of the 3 markets. The second category is your cold market. These are people that you don't know. They just come across your path today. Subway sandwich shop, Macy's, you're standing in the grocery store, you're in the Hallmark store, you're sitting at a luncheon. Now, we have this old saying called a 3-foot rule. So anybody who comes within 3 feet of us, you should have something to give them, even if you can't talk to them. If they look sharp, and that person is just, they're just like, everything you're looking for, like, man, they look sharp. Get up, go over, maybe it's a couple at the table, say, how you doing? You guys just look super sharp, right? And hand them maybe a postcard or hand them a business card. But sometimes they'll look at it, they'll clear up and contact, come to your table. Sometimes they'll call you later, but at least do something. Pique their interest. See, sometimes people are going to call you to learn more. Sometimes it's just to get yourself in the rhythm of meeting people. But then there's the warm chatter. This is just conversation. So here's what a recruiting conversation sounds like. Sounds like this. Good morning. How are you today? You sure look sharp. You back from vacation or? These are just little conversation starters, right? Just conversation starters. Just anything to break the ice, just to start a proper conversation, right? Without sounding network marketing. But I say, listen, you're pretty sharp. What do you do for a living? Right. Listen, everybody has a sign on their forehead that says, say something nice to me. Be nice to me. Smile at me. Make me feel good. So talk to people. How you doing today? You look sharp. Just strike up a conversation, and compliments are always good. But then it leads to the comfort phrase. So you're building warm chatter, right? Right? Just people that you just meet, right? Talking about nothing, when you're in the elevator, weather, right? But you can find some strong leaders just being a conversation specialist. You know the path you want to lead them down. So we're talking about the 3 markets that you're going to expose your business to pique someone's interest. first is the warm market, building a master list. Please, please, please put everybody in your phone and your cell phone and your PDAs and your old address books. Put them in on a list. Then it was cold, right? And then the third is the warm chatter. The next one is a referral market. There are a lot of businesses, mechanics, dentists, attorneys, hairstylists, almost get real estate, almost get all of their business from referrals. Restaurants. How many times have you heard people say, oh my God, you got to go to this restaurant. They got the best food, right? This is a referral. So as you're sharing with different people or talking, even if they're not open, do they know anybody that might be open to an extra income? So many times we walk away, but people will say, you know what? I have a cousin that may be good at this. I think they'd like it. Okay, fantastic. How do I get in touch with them? Right? But referrals are very important. But a lot of people don't discipline their disappointments. We just get upset because the person we were talking to said no. I want you to get in the habit, team builders, of always asking for a referral and keep it moving. Move on. So it's actually 4 markets: warm, cold, warm chatter, and referral. Keep flyers, keep business cards, keep peak cards. Do I have that one? Panera Bread, the bulletin board. Put stuff on the bulletin board. You can't put your card up there and expect 20 people to call you, but every now and then, people will call you. I'll bring that peak card on Monday. But the whole idea is to get more people looking at your business. Now, you may not be a social networker, and that's good. A lot of people you guys are good at it. But what I want you to understand is that one-on-one interaction, even online, you got to build a rapport. You got to go to Messenger and start some kind of dialogue. That's more about them than you, not even about your business. You want to make sure that you track the conversation and write the name of the person down, because let me tell you, Facebook will move your people down. But if you're going to work from the perspective of social media, you've got to clean your pages up, right? If you're a leader and you have negative things on your page, that's not a good look. Because the first thing is you may post something that attracts somebody. I've taught, some of you guys, I've taught you, if somebody likes your post, right? Go to their Messenger page and say, hey, thanks for liking my post. How's it going? If somebody puts a comment on your post, respond to the comment, click on their name, go to Messenger and say, hey, thanks for commenting on my post about, traveling to Dubai. How's it going? Or how's things, right? You want to start a conversation, but before they answer you, if they're like me, they're going to click on your name and go back to your profile page. And at this point in time, family, you really want to make sure that your profile page is clean. There's no ratchetness. Don't share other people's ratchetness to your page, because what it does is it's an indication of how you think. These are just things that you want to watch as you begin to start to become a conversation specialist. And then we have webinars. The more people you have getting on the webinars and getting involved, and then get somebody the next night on the webinar, and then get those 2 people the next night to bring somebody, you're going to, and help people get 3 and free. The duplication, guys, the replication, as you're now team leaders, team builders, regional builders going on to national, guys, you don't want to just get paid on just your efforts. You don't want this to be a job. So it's important that you get a lot of people looking to see if they like what they see. The looks are so important. Of course, yeah, we want to look at who says yes, but you got to get people looking. You got to get a whole bunch of people looking. Listen, you want to figure out, how can I get more people in front of the information? Travel parties, at the weekly meetings. Speaking of weekly meetings, right? I mean, well, you know what? You want to, as leaders, what you want to do is if there is not a presentation going on at a time that's good for you, good for your guests. So let's just say the presentation, we've got them at 7 and 10, but your person needs to see it at 8. Well, you want to learn how to use Zoom. I just did a webinar. It's on my YouTube channel, Janice Parker, and I think it was how to, or if you type Janice Parker Zoom, it'll take you straight into Zoom, how to do it, you know, on YouTube. It'll take you straight into the training I did the other night for some of the leaders. But family, you've got to get to a place where you're doing that. I want you to, and just, I'm sidebarring just for a quick second, because it just hit my spirit, something I want to say to you. As leaders in the organization, so let's just say this is the front of the room. This is the front of the room. And you guys are leaders, right? You guys are leaders. And this is the back of the room. Where should you as a leader position yourself? As a leader, you're a team builder leader and a region builder leader. And if your mindset is, well, all I am is a team builder, so I'm just going to stay in the back. If your mindset is all I am is a regional builder, so I'll just kind of stay in the back. I've heard some leaders, first ladies say, well, I thought that was for the guest. See, here is how I want you to change your mindset. We're going to talk about that in our next session, but this right here is very important to the person who is in the front of the room. Very important. Because a whole bunch of new people up front, empty seats in between, and all of our leaders in the back is not a good look. There's no reason for our leadership to be congregating in the back of the room. Now, let's just say, because we're headed to this in Hampton Roads, the room is so full, and let's just say we do have all SBAs on the front line, and somebody has a guest, right? Somebody has a guest coming and needs a seat. Well, then the SBA would move to allow the guest here. But we should be filling up from the what? From the front. So that for 3 reasons. One, when the presentation starts and people are coming in, we want them to fill in behind the people who are in the front. Number 2, now understand something. You have to be watching First Lady, Pastor, myself, Miss Cypress. You've got to be watching what happens in that event, because one day you're going to have an event. So just look at it. I'm in St. Louis by the time you see this. I'm doing a Super Saturday. In my mind, I have to remember everything that First Lady Saletta does. And so I was talking to the leaders out there. I talked to them about getting the lunch trays like First Lady gets. I talked about listen, I said, get lunch, Subway sub sandwiches, turkey, ham, and roast beef. I talked about getting the onions on the side, the tomatoes on the side, the bottle of mustard, the bottle of ketchup, the chips, and the water. Now, where do I get that from? I get it from watching First Lady Saletta and Pastor Randy Brown. That's where I get it from. So as leaders, you need to know how all of this is working at every single meeting, because one day, for example, Pastor, on the 2nd of February, when I'm going to be in New York, Pastor's going to be in Hampton. It looks like it's going to be a huge event. Well, fortunately for him, he's seen enough Super Saturdays to know how to make that go. Even though it's not technically a Super Saturday, it is set up like a Super Saturday. It is in a particular place like a Super Saturday. So he has to have everything functional. Who's going to hand out the applications? Who's going to hand out the pens? Do we have water? Do we have snacks? Do I have an HDMI cord? Is there a projector? You have to be, and you have to understand why we do this. You have to understand why you as leaders need to be down front and not in the back. Because, family, number one, we never want the speaker speaker interrupted because people, and I am sidebarring, but it hit my spirit, so I got to tell you, because people are coming in from the back and stepping across people. It should be so full in the front that the only place they can sit is behind them. Does that make sense? Number two, if we have a whole bunch of new people on the front, they don't know to laugh, they don't know to take notes, they're nervous, it's new. I'm up there, or first lady, and they're like, wow, this is all this power. And so they're kind of a little bit hesitant or timid. But if there's an SBA guest, SBA guest, SBA on the front rows, right? And the SBAs are taking notes, and the SBAs are laughing and raising their hand, and yes or yes, then the guests become a little bit more relaxed. So we need you to help the guests to, to kind of, become acclimated to our culture. By the same token, the whoever the speaker is needs your help when they're down front. They need you to be smiling. They need you to be clapping. They need you to be raising your hand or standing up or or acting interested. They need you, because when you're in front of the room, you're feeding off the energy of the people in the room. And if you've got a bunch of sour-faced people looking at you, it can almost be like pulling, right? It can almost be pulling. So there are three main reasons that as leaders, you don't congregate in the back of the room. You are leaders now. Now, I asked First Lady down in North Carolina, I asked Renee Toppin, I said, I asked the team there, and I said, when do you become a leader in Surge 365? And I got all kinds of answers. I had, when you get fast start bonus, when you get 3 and free, when you get the team builder. But the true answer to when you become a leader in Surge 365 is when you decide in your mind that you're a leader. The first time I met First Lady Randy and Pastor Randy Brown, let me tell you where I sat my hips at. Every single presentation, I was sitting right here. I had no rank. I was nowhere near the back of the room. Never have I ever sat in the back of the room. That's just not where the $1 million seats are. The $1 million seats are up here, and you want to teach your team. See, your team, they're watching you. And if you sit with your guests in the back of the room, how important is the information in the front of the room? See, as leaders, team builder leaders, regional builder leaders, number one, you can't see yourself at your current position. I want you to see yourself 2 positions ahead. I was going to call this, we want to call Monday. And it's interesting because one of my leaders has always said, you need to stop thinking about that Challenger and you need to start thinking about that Rolex. Stop thinking about, marketing director and start thinking about national director. Well, family, so I'm on a call with Chris Coakley, and I don't believe anything happens by accident. I believe that divine intervention caused him to say, you need to stop playing on this level. You number one national director and national builder and regional builder. He says you need to move on up and start playing and going on become a national director. Now, he probably meant marketing director, but God interceded and intercepted the words. Why? Because we all should be looking not at the next level, but 2 levels ahead of us. We have to see ourselves there. Does that make sense? Because by seeing ourselves there and working to get there, we'll automatically get here. So you are not just a team builder. You are not just a new regional builder. You are whatever you decide in here that you are. That's what you are. That's what you are. So I want you to understand, I need you to stop playing it small. Stop hiding in the shadows, right? What does this have to do with being a great conversationalist? Not a thing. I'm going to go back to that in just a second, but it hit me, so I had to share it with you before I lost it, right? Don't think small. Start, if your goal is to be a director, then I want you to start acting like directors. I want you to start thinking like a director, dressing like sharp directors, right? Walking, talking, being a director, because understand something, unless you see it in your mind's eye, it can never, ever, ever, ever happen for you. Does that make sense? So that's the power of what we're putting together. Begin to, and as I have, and I was so proud of Andrea this past week, and I'm going to, matter of fact, I'm recording this and I'll be listening to Pastor here in about an hour as he does his debut webinar. And I was so proud of her because I could tell from what I heard, she'd been studying. I could tell from what I heard, she'd been studying. And so as a leader, now I don't want you coming to a presentation to be entertained. I don't want you coming to a presentation to be just, to just, be a spectator. I want you to now be a participator, even if it's just you recording what you see, right? Recording what you see. Because at some point in time, you may be put on the spot. First Lady, Pastor, and I are stuck. We can't get to the meeting. They were trying to come from DC. I was trying to come from Charlotte. We're stuck in traffic. And one of you, 2 or 3 or 4 of you are going to have to run the presentation. So from now on, when you go to a Winner's Win, when you go to a convention, you go to a Super Saturday, you come to a Monday night meeting or any kind of training platform, even the one you're in right now, I want you observing how it's executed, what is taking place, what you would do differently, what you would add, right? You got to start thinking like that leader, because this is next level right here. This is the real talk side of things right here. Fair enough? So family, sometimes, and let's get back to it being a great conversationalist. I think I was about to say to you that sometimes you may have to pull up and do a presentation. If worst case scenario, press play on a presentation that's already been done. Just press play. Does that make sense, guys? That's the power of what we're putting together. So you may have to sit down over a cup of coffee. But you want to make sure that people feel your passion. Letting them know that we get paid by how many people we get to see, to take a look at the business. And that may seem elementary. But family, I think kicking off 2019, it is important that we develop superstar winning habits that's going to take our business to the next level in 2019. So as we begin to focus on some of these things that may seem new right now, but I'm telling you, they're important. We've got to have new habits that we're creating. And let me just share this little poem with you that has meant so much to me over the years. Listen to this carefully. I am your constant companion. I am your greatest helper or your heaviest burden. I will push you onward or drag you down. I am completely at your command. Half the things you do, you might as well just turn over to me and I'll do them quickly every time. I am easily managed. You must merely be firm with me. Show me exactly how you want me to do something and I will do it. I'll do it automatically and purposely every time. I am the servant of all great men, and I am the cause of all great failures as well. Those who are great, I've made great. Those who are failures, I have made failures. I am not a machine, but I work with all the precision of a machine, plus the intelligence of a man. You may run me for profit or run me for ruin. Makes no difference to me. Be firm with me, and I will place the world at your feet. Be easy with me, and I will destroy you. Who am I? I am your habit. You got to form constructive new habits as we're entering into this new year. If you'll just be firm and create the right kinds of habits where you're waking up in the morning, you're saying your affirmations, I am, I am. You're saying your affirmations in the evening, I am, I am. You're developing a winning mindset. You've written your goals down. You've placed your goals up, right? If you weren't doing it last year, that's okay, because it's a brand new year. You can create new habits, new results that will propel you to your highest level of expectation. Or you cannot create the right habits. And you heard the poem. It'll take you right down to ruins. See, our subconscious is so powerful. So I want to encourage everybody as we're kicking off this brand new year, develop great habits. Tap into your support team leaders. Make sure you've got your leader guiding you along the way, giving you constructive, valuable help. Find somebody who is where you want to be. Ask them to work with you. And remember, now you, as they're helping you, pay attention because you've got to do the same thing. I want to celebrate each and every one of you guys. Listen, we are so excited about where you're headed. So tonight's focus, again, becoming a conversation specialist. As you pique people's interest, don't say too much. Keep them curious. Less is always more, right? Make them want to hear your information, right? It'll duplicate for you. Now, because what happens is as soon as you actually start, you make that first conversation with them, whether it's by phone call or you met them. If you're weird, they feel like they've got to be weird. If you talk too much, they feel like they've got to talk too much. So you want to make sure that you're becoming a conversation specialist, remember what Judge Judy said, and this is what she says. She says, right? She says, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Oh, that's terrible. 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. And the reason you have that is because you want to spend more time doing this. As a conversation specialist, what you're going to learn is that people will tell you what you need to sell them on your business and your product. So here's the beautiful thing, right? The power of this particular platform, of being able to know what to say, when to say it, when not to say it. Because becoming a conversationalist means that you understand that once you've talked yourself into the sale, and who was I with the other day? And I stopped talking once I had the buying sign with the person. And they were like, well, you gonna say something? And I was like, I kind of gave them the hand, like, because while that person was looking down at the application and thinking and had their pen ready, what I didn't want to do is keep talking and talk them out. So once you've got the buying sign, learn to what? Bring it here. Learn to just be quiet. So here's the thing that I want you to understand. First things first is you must, as leaders, here's a key thing. You have to lead from out front. You have to lead from out front. And that's in everything that you do. One of my mentors used to say to me, he used to say, your team should never outwork you. Now y'all hear that. He used to say that your team should never outwork you. Now, what does that mean? All right. What that means is this. He's saying, all right, he's saying you have to lead from right here. You have to lead by example. My grandmother used to put it this way. She said, you can't just talk the talk, right? You've got to walk the walk. My new people, my young people, they said, well, you can't just talk about it. You got to be about it, right? What does all that mean as a new team builder leader, a new regional builder leader? What does all that mean? That means that your team cannot see that they're more active. If you're saying you're a builder, that they're more active than you. They show up to more presentations than you. They're on more webinars than you. They do more travel parties than you. They're at more corporate events than you are. your team shouldn't even see that they outpost you in your independent, in your groups. You should always lead from the front. Because what you want your team to do is this. You want your team to want to catch you, not to bypass you. You want your team to want to catch you, be able to have to catch you, not to bypass you. Now, there are going to be some people that will join our teams that will move faster than we did. That's not my point as far as moving through the ranks. I'm talking about the effort that you're putting in. The one thing that you can control, and that happens to be what? That happens to be the activity that you do. So as a leader, your list, you should make sure that you have a huge enough list so you can show them, see, this is the list that I made. Because family, people will move by what they will be moved by what you do, what you've done, than just what you say. My grandmother used to say, your actions speak so loudly, I can't hear what you're saying. Right? In other words, you know, your actions, right? Your actions should line up with what you're saying. If you're saying you're on fire for the business, it should line up. Your activity should line up. So you should have a big, huge list that you can show your team. This is the list that I created. This is how you move through the ranks, by creating a list this big. Your calendar. Now, guys, I'm not advocating that anybody's calendar looks like Malcolm's, and mine, I'm working to get it to look like Malcolm's. But when I saw Malcolm's calendar, remember Sylvia, down in First Lady, you remember down in where were we at? Brazil? And he showed the calendar that he had on his run to director. And I realized that I am not working hard enough. But I do know I outwork my team. My goal is to get to, and this is how you should set your goal. I don't say that to brag. I just say that I know what I want. And if I'm going to get it, I got to be leading out front. And so I hear about Juliet's schedule. I hear about Malcolm's schedule. And I'm saying to myself, I need to be as busy as they were. The interesting fun fact is I'm nowhere near it. Not yet. Right? Nowhere near it, not yet. But at least it's a goal that I aspire to. Right? I heard it said that Juliet outworked everybody in the company. That's my goal. That is not to put down anybody in the company. It's just my personal goal. But you have to have something that you're shooting for. You have to have something that you're shooting for. So your calendar should be more full than anybody on your team. And you should always have it what? You should always have it with you. So now, like right now, and I'm going to do a calendar training shortly, but right now you should be marking out, and Mama bought me this. Mom bought me this pen. Y'all remember these where you got the different colors, right? Mom bought me that one. And so what I'm doing is all of my standard events, my webinars, my Monday night meeting, I'm using this purple pen. This is just me. You can do what you want, but I'm using this purple pen to put down all of those events in my calendar. Then I'm taking, and I'm using red if it's a call, whether it's a three-way call or I'm doing a conference call. Green is I should have did blue for Zoom, because isn't Zoom blue? I might change that, but anyway, right now green I'm using for Zooms. Let me see how I have to keep looking at it myself. So black, all right, so blue I'm using for something that came up, like the Super Saturday for Renee. That's not a green, a purple, because it's not a weekly event. And it's not one of my personal events, which I use in black. It's kind of another event that I'm participating in. So I'm doing color coding. Whatever you want to do is totally up to you. But your calendar should be more full than anybody in your organization. You should be more. You should, right? Does that make sense, guys? You want to take that lead, right? Take that lead and be the person who is out front, which means you can't lead from home. You can't lead from your living room. Winners win. Guys, winners win. We've got to go ahead and register for that. But winners win. You must be at winners win. It cannot be one of those things that you're going to decide, I'm going to see if I'm going to go. You are a leader now. How do you lead from the rear? Speaking of which, as leaders, you have to begin to promote the events, right? Don't wait for your upline national builder or regional builder to be the one to promote. Why can't you too promote? You are team builder leaders. You're at the highest paid position in Surge 365. Only at this position, right, are you able to earn $10,000 bonuses as a team builder, the $50,000 bonus as a team builder. But you want to step up and you want to become a huge promoter of events. You should be promoting winners win. You should be promoting, right? You should be promoting, the Super Saturday. You should be promoting the team builder event. How many of you reposted the team builder flyer? Those are the things that you should be doing. The Monday night event, post it. Oh, but I thought I saw somebody else post it. So what? That has nothing to do with you. Guys, you have a calendar. Your Surge 365 calendar. Post the events. But Coach JP, I see you're already posting them. That's me posting them. I want you to post them. You have to step into the role, right, of a national builder director today as a team builder, regional builder. Not when you get there. You don't become a national builder when you get to national builder. You become a national builder when you decide to be a national builder. And as I close out this first segment, right? As I close out this particular first segment, family, and just again, just really, really, really proud of what you've done. And you've done good, but you haven't done great. See, now it's time to step your game up and decide, are you really an entrepreneur? Am I really ready for this, right? And if I'm not, how do I get ready? Coach, I don't know. I'm still warring with myself because, sometimes people can get the team builder in the same day they get started. Or within their first 30 days, they don't know anything, right? This is why First Lady says, yes, we work in our team builder group, but we don't abandon you because you become a team builder. We've got to help you now develop as that leader in your team builder group. And so I'm going to challenge you to spend some time. Family, a lot of time in your personal development. Not during the time that you can be building a business. But I'm going to challenge you to make sure you're reading books that are going to advance you, your self-image, your financial awareness, going to advance you. We're reading Cash Flow Quadrant right now. I hope you guys are doing that. Some people did say they couldn't open the link, First Lady, but if you just go to Google and put in Cash Flow Quadrant PDF, it'll pull right up. So if you don't want to buy the book and read it, on a laptop like I'm doing or on my tablet, you don't have to do, you can do that. If you don't want to buy the book, you can read it on the tablet. And if you can't do that, then go buy the book. But here's the last thing I want to say as leaders. As leaders, you have to fight for position. You have to be competitive. Everybody likes to be on a team that they feel people are winning on. You, as the leader, if the company puts out a promotion, you, as a leader, should run for it. If Pastor Randy and First Lady Saletta put out a team promotion, you should run for it. You should not be comfortable not hitting or attempting to hit the rank in the competition. You should be let me tell you, like Valerie, my hat goes off to her and my hat goes off to Sylvia, because let me tell you why. For both of them, Now, so for Valerie, she was already a team builder, but she wanted to make sure she qualified for Brazil. There were 3 months to qualify. And you could see the hustle. You could see the grind. You could see the running, because that's what you're supposed to do. You want to be the leader that tells your team, we're going to go for it. We're going to run for it. We're going to push to get it. But Coach JP, I don't have a team yet. I'm a brand new team builder. Great. You, listen, this is me, myself, and I. It's 3 of us running. If there's nobody else running with me, the 3 of us are going to run. You don't have to have a huge following to be talking to a team. You are the beginning of the team. And so you should fight for whatever it is. You don't wait till you get a team to become a competitor. You don't wait till you get a team to become a runner. You don't wait till you get a team to run after the promotion that First Lady has, or I have, or the company has, or Vaughn or Malcolm has. You don't wait till you got a team. You run now and create the team while you're running after that competition. You cannot be comfortable hidden in the shadows. You cannot be comfortable as a leader, ducking and dodging in the back. You have to step out front. What if I don't make it? What if I'm not successful? At least you tried. But the worst thing is to wait till you got a team and now you want to become a competitor. It's not a switch, right? You want to go ahead and ingrain that in yourself to run. To run. And your team sees nothing. Let's say this is your front. Your team sees you running, and they see the back of you, and you're running for that next position. You're running for that competition. You're running. First Lady says, whoever puts in 1 tonight gets a $10 gift card. You best go get that gift card. Don't sit back and wait. First Lady, I've put, and I'm about to put another promotion out there called Cash Bash, and I put promotions out there, and it's like, you know, the same few people run to the promotion. The same few hungry people, but then I've got other leaders that sit back like, that's not how you lead. You lead by getting your team to the championship. And Serge gives us so many opportunities. Malcolm and First Lady, Vaughn and myself give so many opportunities for you to be a champion. And it may just be a $10 gift card. Who cares? It's the spirit. It's that inner drive of a lion that you want to develop. To not sit back and say, oh, I probably can't get it, somebody else will. That's not what a lion does. And remember, family, if somebody's going to follow you to the top, they got to feel like you're pushing to get there. They got to feel like you're pushing to get them there. They got to feel like you're running, you're driving, you're motivated, you're excited, you're by any means necessary. They can't feel like that you may hopefully one day possibly think about looking into getting them there. People want to know that they're running with a runner. That's what they're looking for. And that's who you have to be to them. That's who you have to be to them. So don't sit back and be comfortable. You are a team builder leader. You're a regional builder leader. You're on your way to national builder and director. That's how you got to see yourself. And you've got to be that person that's so passionate that people are like, I'm with them. They don't know what you're doing, but you're so passionate and you're so confident about yours that they just want to be with you, period. Run after the competitions, run after the promotions, run after what's out there. Go for your goal, speak your goal, talk to your team about the goal. First Lady, I told the team this year we're breaking 2 directors. I'm not even talking about me. We're breaking 2 directors, 10 national builders and 30 regional builders. Which one are you going to be on the team? I've got 4 or 5 of them have told me, I'm one of your regional builders. I'm one of your national builders. 2 of them have told me I am one of those directors. But you got to feed the vision to your team. They got to know what that vision is. But if you don't know where you're going, how in the world do you get them there? Have you set your goals for 2019? When are you going to go from team builder to regional builder? What's the date and what's the time? When are you going to go from regional builder to national builder? What's the date? What's the time? When are you going to go from national builder to director? What's the date? What's the time of day? But if you have no clue And if it's not stated or written down this year when that's going to happen for you, will it happen for you? So guys, congratulations on being new, team builders. Congratulations on this position. Take advantage of this position. There is a lot of money on the table. There's also a lot to learn to become the leader that can take people to the next level. Because see, now that you're here, your goal is to bring somebody with you. But then your goal is to lead them and move forward as you bring them to the next level. And then your goal is to move to the next level so you can bring them to what? Next level. Right? So that's part one. I'll be back. I've got to get off here so Pastor can do his presentation in about 35 minutes. He's going to do an amazing job, I'm sure. But God bless each and every one of you. We're going to take a break now. I'm sure First Lady will let you guys go out and get some water, do something. But that's part one. And I'll be back, First Lady, with part two. Sorry I'm not there with you physically, guys, but I am so excited and so proud of each and every one of you. God bless. I'll be back here for part two in just a little while. We'll see you then.